Hello, this is Corey Samuelson with the Fit Stoic Podcast, episode 15, Choose Your Experience. Okay, thanks for joining me today. Today's chapter of the Gymchiridion, which is chapter 9, is called Choose Your Experience. Whatever happens, you have the power to choose your experience and exercise your virtuous self-control. The challenges you face may preclude your achieving an external goal. You may not be able to remove the cast on your ankle in time to train for the tournament. You may not cycle well enough to don the yellow jersey. You may not be able to get your blood sugar levels low enough to stop taking the medication. But nothing can impede your volition. At every moment of choice, you are in control of your experience and how you decide to deal with the circumstances. Perhaps patience with your healing ankle. Perhaps looking to the next stage and a new strategy to cycle smarter. Perhaps a change in diet and adding exercise to determine the effects on the blood sugar levels. You choose. So this is an interesting one today. Many people simply accept that our circumstances dictate our experience. And that simply isn't so. For example, many people will feel frustrated when they are stuck in traffic. And then the association that most people have is that traffic is frustrating. Or something a little bit more pleasant, perhaps, is being on a beach is relaxing. There can be people who are stuck in traffic and feel no frustration whatsoever. Or conversely, they could be sitting on the beach, perfect weather, and still be completely miserable or even feeling frustrated. So the circumstances do not dictate our experience. That is up to us. We get to choose. So it's not that traffic makes us frustrated. It's that we look at our circumstances, we see that the traffic isn't moving, and then we start to run these scenarios inside our minds. Oh no, I'm going to be late for work. Oh no, that report was due. Oh no, I'm going to get in trouble. That kind of thing, right? Or conversely, we're laying on the beach and we're on holiday. What we're thinking as we're laying there is, oh, I don't have anything to do. I can just relax. There aren't any issues that I need to deal with. And even if there were, I don't have access to my network. So I can't do anything about it. So we begin to relax and just enjoy ourselves. Now, if you play around with this concept, you can realize that when you are in traffic, you can think different thoughts. You can come to different conclusions. And then you can, in a, in quotes, frustrating traffic scenario, you can completely relax. The circumstances and the consequences can remain the same. You'll still be late. The report will still be overdue and not on time. And the boss will still be upset. But if you think about it, what does that have to do with you? Sure, you have to deal with the consequences of that scenario in particular here. But why do you have to be upset about it? How does that help you exactly? Now, the system of the human body was designed for action. So being in a scenario where we think back in the day, something is happening here, and then the images of attack or danger would then create this surge of adrenaline. And we would either take off, so we would flee, or we would be prepared to fight. That's the flight or fight response. And that has a purpose. But in today's society, not so much. I mean, sometimes that still will apply, but more and more rarely these days. But then what we're doing is we're taking scenarios that we can't do anything about physically, and our thoughts are still driving that system. We can choose a different experience. The raw materials of the circumstances in which we find ourselves are the ingredients that we use to create our experience. They do not dictate our experience. Is the traffic making you miserable? No, it doesn't have the power to choose your experience for you. That's up to you. You make yourself miserable or frustrated within the traffic. There is nothing in the external world that can choose your experience for you, not the circumstances, not other people. Your experience is up to you. I like to say there is no authority higher than your own choice when it comes to your experience. Just to be very clear, the consequences are still there, but how we respond, how we think about, and how we experience those consequences, that is up to us. And that's the important thing. So what can you do with this understanding that we create our own experience regardless of the circumstances? Well, you can start to think about, what am I experiencing in the moment? And if it's something that you don't want to experience, you can address that. So ask yourself questions. What am I experiencing right now? What would I prefer to experience? What's my choice in this moment? What am I choosing to think about? And then you can ask, why am I choosing to think this? Why am I choosing to experience this? Is this helping me? By asking these types of questions, and I'm not saying that those are the only questions that you need to ask, just some examples, but by inquiring into what's going on internally, like what you're thinking, what your own thoughts are that drive your experience, you can actually direct your attention to a completely different experience. So the traffic is making you miserable? No, your own thinking is. So how can you change your thinking to then change your experience? I hope that gave you a different perspective on how you go through life and what you can do to choose your own experience. If you'd like a free PDF copy of the Gymchiridion, go to gymmanual.com. Thanks for spending time with me today. If you like what you heard, please do share it with someone you believe might like it too. That's all for now. Whatever your task, operate with excellence.